October 7th, 2023, started like any other day in Israel, but it quickly turned into chaos and violence. As Yom Kippur, the most important holy day for Jewish people, began, Hamas, the group in charge of Gaza, launched a surprise attack. Thousands of rockets fell on Israeli cities and towns, breaking the peace and causing widespread panic. At the same time, Hamas fighters entered Israel in many ways. They used tunnels, walked across borders, and even used motorcycles and paragliders. This bold attack, carefully planned and carried out, caught the Israeli Defense Forces by surprise, showing weaknesses in their security. The day's events left a trail of destruction and death. More than 700 Israelis died and thousands were hurt. The attack shocked Israel and the world, making the long-standing conflict between Israelis and Palestinians much worse. It was a harsh reminder of the deep anger and the seemingly impossible problems. After the attack, Israel declared a state of emergency. The nation, stunned by the surprise attack, prepared for a long and difficult fight. What happened on October 7th would have lasting effects, not just for Israelis and Palestinians, but for the whole region and the world. The problems between Israelis and Palestinians go way back, tied up in history, religion, and different national goals. This conflict is deeply rooted in the cultural and historical fabric of the region. To understand October 7th, we need to look at the history of this long fight, which has seen many twists and turns over the decades. The conflict started in the late 1800s and early 1900s, when more and more Jewish people moved to Palestine, which was ruled by the Ottomans. This migration was part of the larger Zionist movement. This movement, driven by the hope for a Jewish homeland, caused tension with the Arab people already living there, who saw their land and way of life being threatened. After World War I, things got more complicated when the British took control of Palestine, promising conflicting things to both Jews and Arabs. This was supposed to help create an independent Palestinian state, but it just made things worse between the Jewish and Arab communities, leading to more distrust and violence. In 1947, the United Nations suggested dividing Palestine into separate Arab and Jewish states, a plan that was meant to bring peace. Jewish leaders agreed, but Arab leaders didn't, leading to further conflict and unrest. This led to the 1948 Arab-Israeli War and forced hundreds of thousands of Palestinians to leave their homes, creating a massive refugee crisis. The war didn't bring peace. It just caused more problems, setting the stage for future conflicts. The next few decades saw more wars, Palestinian uprisings, and lots of violence, each event adding layers of complexity to the conflict. Each event made the situation worse, making peace seem impossible as both sides suffered and the cycle of violence continued. Understanding this history is important to understanding the problems between Israelis and Palestinians, as it provides context to the ongoing struggle. It shows the deep anger, the lack of trust, and the seemingly impossible problems that have defined this century-long struggle. At the center of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is Jerusalem, a city important to Jews, Christians, and Muslims. This ancient city holds a unique place in the hearts of millions around the world. Its importance to all three religions makes it a place of disagreement, a focal point where different beliefs and histories intersect, where history, faith, and politics clash. The city's streets are filled with stories from the past and present, each layer adding to its complexity. For Jews, Jerusalem is the ancient capital of Israel, a symbol of their enduring connection to the land, the place of the first and second temples, which are central to Jewish history and spirituality, and the holiest city in Judaism. The Western Wall, part of the Second Temple, is a symbol of Jewish faith and strength. The Western Wall, part of the Second Temple, is a symbol of Jewish faith and strength. It stands as a testament to resilience and hope. Christians see Jerusalem as the place where Jesus lived, died, and came back to life. It is a city of pilgrimage and profound spiritual significance. Places like the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, where Jesus was crucified and buried, are very important to Christians all over the world. These sites draw millions of visitors each year. Muslims believe Jerusalem is the third holiest city in Islam, after Mecca and Medina. It holds a special place in Islamic tradition. The Dome of the Rock on the Temple Mount remembers the Prophet Muhammad's journey to heaven. This site is a beacon of faith for Muslims worldwide. The Al-Aqsa Mosque, also on the Temple Mount, is one of Islam's most holy places. It is a center of worship and devotion. Because it's important to so many religions, Jerusalem is a very sensitive city. Its streets are a mosaic of cultures and traditions. Both Israelis and Palestinians claim it as their capital, making peace even harder. The city's future remains a contentious issue. The city's status is a big problem in negotiations, with neither side willing to give up their claim. This impasse fuels ongoing tensions. The fight for Jerusalem isn't just about religion, it's about who controls the city, identity, and national goals. The struggle is deeply rooted in both history and modern politics. It's about who controls the city, identity, and national goals. The city's future is a key issue in the broader Israeli-Palestinian conflict. As long as no one agrees on who Jerusalem belongs to, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict will continue to be driven by strong emotions and political tension. The city's fate remains uncertain, a symbol of the broader struggle for peace and justice in the region. Hamas, a Palestinian group, plays a big and often controversial role in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Started in 1987, Hamas has grown from a small resistance movement into a powerful political and military force. Hamas wants to destroy Israel and create an Islamic state in all of historic Palestine. Hamas believes fighting is okay to reach its goals and attacks Israeli civilians and military targets. Hamas became very powerful in 2006 when it won the Palestinian elections. This worried Israel and many other countries. Hamas then took control of Gaza in 2007. Since then, Hamas has ruled Gaza, often fighting with Israel and launching rockets and other attacks. Many countries, including the United States, call Hamas a terrorist group. Hamas's beliefs, its use of violence, and its control of Gaza make peace very difficult. Because Hamas refuses to accept Israel's right to exist, it's hard to find a peaceful solution. While some Palestinians support Hamas, especially in Gaza, many people disagree with its actions and goals. Hamas's actions have often caused more suffering for Palestinians, increased tension with Israel, and made peace harder to achieve. Section 5. The world's role, a difficult balancing act. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict has been a focus of world attention for a long time, capturing headlines and sparking debates across the globe. Global powers and organizations are trying to help make peace in this very difficult situation, navigating a complex web of political, social, and historical factors. The United Nations has been involved for a long time and has tried to find a fair solution, often acting as a mediator in the conflict. From the 1947 plan to divide Palestine to many Security Council resolutions, the UN has tried to find a lasting peace, though success has been elusive. But it's been hard because the two sides don't agree and the region's politics are complex with deep-rooted historical grievances and ongoing disputes. The United States, a close friend of Israel, has a lot of influence, often playing a key role in diplomatic efforts. It has tried to help with peace talks, given lots of money to Israel, and often protected Israel from criticism, which has sparked controversy. But some people say the US favors Israel too much and isn't fair, leading to accusations of bias and calls for a more balanced approach. European countries, especially France and Germany, have also tried to help, bringing their own perspectives and resources to the table. They have given money to the Palestinians, talked with both sides, and supported a two-state solution based on international law and past agreements, advocating for a fair resolution. The world's involvement in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is difficult, requiring a delicate balance of diplomacy, aid, and negotiation. It involves dealing with a lot of history, different stories, and strong opinions, making it a highly sensitive and challenging issue. While the world has helped with things like ceasefires and aid, a real lasting solution hasn't been found yet, and the search for peace continues. The continuing violence shows that the world needs to do more, highlighting the urgency for renewed efforts and innovative solutions. Key leaders, regional actors, and international organizations need to work together to stop the violence and create a path towards a fair and lasting peace, ensuring that all voices are heard and respected. The fighting has created a terrible situation. Thousands of people have died and many more have lost their homes. Families are separated and communities are destroyed. People don't have food, water, or medical care, making things even worse. International aid groups are working hard, but the problems are huge. The world has spoken out. Many countries and international groups have condemned the violence and asked for an immediate ceasefire. There have been many protests and rallies for peace. World leaders are urging both sides to talk and find a peaceful solution. Many people want peace, but achieving it is very difficult. To find a lasting solution, we need to address the root causes of the conflict. This means understanding past grievances, making sure both Israelis and Palestinians are safe, and building mutual respect. There have been many peace plans, but none have worked completely. Talking and diplomacy are still the best ways to find a solution. It's a hard road, but one we must follow with determination and hope. The Israel-Palestine conflict has affected many generations. It's a story of pain and loss, but also of strength and hope. Despite the problems, many people and groups are working for peace and understanding. The hope for a better future, where Israelis and Palestinians can live together peacefully, continues to inspire efforts towards reconciliation. The road to peace is long and hard, but the dream of living together in peace remains.